This is the Farmington Feed, bringing you information from the city of Farmington.
Hi, and welcome back to the Farmington Feed. I'm Corinne Hodgnicki, the city's communications specialist, and I'm hungry for another episode of the feed. Our guest today is Chief Rutherford. Hi, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you today?
Great. You're here to talk about Toys for Town. This program has been happening for 35 years that we just figured out. And Chief has been with the city for 21 plus years and really enjoys community engagement in this town. Is that correct?
That is 100% correct.
All right, so let's get started. For those residents that have never experienced Toys for Town, can you tell them what it is?
Sure. Toys for Town is it's a holiday. It started off as a holiday toy drive. It's turned into a little bit more than that, but each year, usually around November 1st, we start collecting toys for disadvantaged families, and we collect cash to provide groceries and to provide gift cards for the older kids that are a little bit harder to shop for. But yeah, we've been doing this for 35 years. The program grows a little bit each year. And
so do you know how it got started, since you weren't here when it did?
1988 was the first year, and it was our chief of police at the time, Dan Siebenaller, knew of a family in town that needed some help on the holidays, and he just decided on his own to help that family. And the program, at very, humble beginnings, and that's where it started, but it grew exponentially from there.
Just a small idea.
Mm-hmm.
So how long have you specifically been involved with the program?
I've been heavily involved in the program since I became chief in 2018. I worked night shift primarily most of my career before that, so I didn't have a ton of involvement in the program. I knew what it was and, helped out where I could, but, it's primarily a daytime operation, obviously.
For sure. So do you have any idea how many families this program has helped?
Wow. We don't retain names or any,
Right.
year-to-year records like that. Last year, for example, we served around 110 families.
Okay.
And it was somewhere just north of 400 children.
Yeah. Wow.
And those numbers have been pretty steady for the last 3 or 4 years.
For sure.
And it's, when I first started in 2018, I want to say it was 85, 90 families. So, you can kind of do the backwards math there and see that it's probably into the couple of thousand families overall, I would assume, over 35 years.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's
Yeah.
awesome. What intrigues me the most is wrapping day. I can't even imagine. I actually like wrapping presents.
Sure.
I'm sure there's a lot of people that don't, but I'm sure there's people that are like me and do, and they show up. And how is that even start to be organized? And
I generally describe it more like organized chaos than anything.
so not really organized.
Right. Because like I said, you have to imagine we have, 400-ish children last year in this program. Each one of those kids got, I want to say it was 6 to 7 gifts each, because we had a pretty good year of donations with toys. Mm-hmm. So my math is terrible, but that's, 2,500 toys total that have to get wrapped. So yeah, we have community members come out to the high school on wrapping day, and they choose a family to shop for these gifts, and they go pick out 6 or 7 toys for each of the kids in the family that they've chosen, and then they wrap all these gifts. And we had the entire cafeteria at the high school is just absolutely jam packed with people, and we have Santa and Mrs. Claus wandering around, and
I know, I've seen some pictures.
Christmas carols playing in the background, and we bring all the supplies. Some families have been doing it for so long that they just bring their own wrapping paper and their own scissors, but we do supply everything. It's such a ton of fun. It's as much fun to me as anything that we do with the police department.
Yeah. Well, okay, so you say they go shopping. How is that even,
Sure.
Do you organize all the gifts by type or something?
Kinda. Each of the last 3-4 years, our toy donations have been, if anybody's ever seen our green bins that we have around town, we collect all those up the week before wrapping day with all the toy donations that companies and businesses and whatever have.
Oh, because everybody's collecting at different places, right?
Yep. We have probably 40 to 50 different collection locations between city buildings and school buildings and churches and businesses. But yeah, so we have to go around, we collect all those, and then the day before wrapping day, Friday afternoon, once school lets out, we transport all these toys.
Oh my gosh, what do you do? How do you do that?
We actually have Jim Ross from Happy Harry's comes with his big furniture moving truck.
Oh, okay.
And we load them all from the police department into his truck. And the last few years, it's taken a couple of trips. Get them all to the high school, and then we drag them all back to big open space. And we essentially set up a giant toy store. We do our best to, with all the volunteers that we get, to try and sort the toys into appropriate age groups and by gender and whatever.
Yeah.
So, when you pick a family on wrapping day that, okay, I've got a 5-year-old boy and an 8-year-old girl. So, to go to
those tables.
Go to the boy side and look for something appropriate for a 5-year-old.
I think that's kind of cool that you have a family like shopping for a family.
Yep.
Yeah.
For sure.
Like that makes it kind of personal, I guess.
I think so.
Yeah. Cleanup. I can't even imagine cleanup. Like, like wrapping. Like my house is a mess when I wrap. Like, and this is a whole cafeteria, gymnasium, wherever you are, like of wrapping. Like, how long does it take to clean that up?
We've been doing it long enough that we have it down to a little bit of an art. The school's very good. They've always got multiple janitors on site for us, with the giant rolling garbage carts for all the scrap wrapping paper and cardboard tubes and all that. So it really doesn't take long. Well, we're there well before 9, but wrapping day officially starts at 9 o'clock. And we're usually out of there by noon or so.
Oh, okay.
And we have everything all packed up, and that doesn't mean that we have it reorganized back at the police department. It usually just goes into a storage area for a week while we all decompress. But
yeah, okay. And then what happens after that? So you have to put it in storage, and then how do you get it to the families?
No, the what goes into storage is all our supplies.
Oh, your supplies.
Yep,
okay.
Yep. The toys themselves, once a family chooses, they go shopping for their adopted kids, for lack of a better way to put it. Shop for the kids, wrap the gifts. If they choose, that family can choose to deliver those gifts to the address associated with that family.
Oh, okay.
If not, they leave the gifts in a section of the cafeteria for us, and we'll deliver them. The fire department comes out and helps deliver. Our SWAT team sends people out in their vehicles to deliver.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's a super cool thing.
It's getting everybody involved.
Yep, absolutely.
So how many volunteers do you usually need on wrapping day?
Typically, we're north of 100 families. Last year, it was about 110. Ideally, we would have 110 groups that would come out and wrap so that each group can get one family. Some years we have way more than that. Some years we have fewer volunteers. When the years we have fewer volunteers, a lot of the times families will, once they finished shopping and then wrapping gifts for a family, we'll say, hey, if you want to do another family, we got 10 more here to choose from.
Right.
So many people are just willing to, absolutely, they'll do it. Like I said, it's as much fun as anything I've been involved with in Farmington. It's just it's one of those events that'll really fill your cup if you let it.
Where I came from, there was like random police departments that would post stuff and say, we so-and-so adopted a family and we helped them out, blah, blah, blah. But this is so much bigger than that, and how awesome it is that this community can come together and do something this big for so many people.
For sure. And I would never discount anything that any other department does. God bless them for doing that. But this is, I don't think other people outside of Farmington realize, what a heavy lift this is. We're a small police department. We're 30 members strong with our including our non-sworn staff, and this is it's a ton of work between now and the end of the year. It's going to occupy a lot of our time, and
for sure.
But it's so worth it. We get emails every year from some of the families that benefit from this program, and it just reinforces why we do it.
For those that don't like to wrap presents, I know there's some out there.
Sure.
How do they help?
Well, there's any number of ways somebody can help. You can help by donating toys. You can help by donating cash, because, like I said, the cash will go towards Visa cards for the older kids that frankly don't want toys. Obviously, we buy a holiday meal for each family from the Bourbon Butcher.
Awesome!
Comes in a meal kit so they can have a proper, really nice holiday meal.
And that's good food too.
Yep. Oh, for sure, But it's not free. So
right.
We need monetary donations. Last year we raised, it was just a tick over $40,000 to make all this happen. So yeah, you can donate toys, you can donate monetarily. If you want to help with, if you're not into wrapping, you can help deliver if that's something you would want to do.
Sure.
We could always use help the Friday before, like I said, and if you've ever seen the volume of toys that we have, sorting that is not any simple task whatsoever. Getting them in the room, setting up the toy room.
So you have a whole crew for that too.
For sure. Yeah, that's that's a 2, 3, 4 hour project in and of itself with getting all those big green bins emptied and then sorted and then appropriate. There's no way, we don't have a place big enough to appropriately stage them. I'm sure anybody in retail would just shake their head at what we had going on in there. But yeah, so we could always use help with that.
Okay, and then they can reach out to the department. They want to donate or want to help and volunteer. If they're doing a monetary donation, do they just come to the department or?
Yes, they can just swing by the police department anytime we're open Monday through Friday, 8 to 4:30. If I'm there, happy to come out and shake your hand and meet you.
Awesome. I always like to ask this question about everything. What's the funniest thing that's happened during Toys for Town? Maybe wrapping day, maybe just setting up.
Sure. Every year somebody tries to wrap something that's got no business being wrapped.
Oh.
Over the years we've had, like bicycles donated, and somebody will take a run at actually trying to wrap a bicycle.
Wrap the unwrappable.
It was last year or the year before, we had this giant stuffed unicorn that got donated, and somebody wrapped that. And I mean, it was just funny when they came walking out with it all wrapped, because everybody knew, that's that giant stuffed unicorn.
They knew what it was.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. It was just a giant stuffed unicorn shaped in wrapping paper.
Yeah.
It was
well, it's
funny.
like when I wrap my kid's hockey stick, when he got a hockey stick. I mean, you know what it is.
Yep.
It's a hockey stick.
Yep.
What else is there that we didn't talk about this great event?
Actually, this year we are in the process of working with the Open Door, who's been working with the Rambling River Center to distribute food every Thursday?
I think it's the third Tuesday of the month.
Yeah. We got connected with them, and we've been discussing the idea of, we provide as a part of this program to each family, this nice holiday meal. But we thought it would be nice when we got connected with Open Door to try and figure out how we could get them some additional groceries to get them through the rest of the holidays, for example. So it looks like that's going to be a go. I mean, we're going to have to figure out the logistics of it all, but the Open Door has been super great to work with. They're all about joining this program. So we always look for some way to tweak the program each year or try and improve it. It's, if you're not going forward, you're going backwards.
Yeah. There's always something you can do different.
For sure.
And make things easier for people too. I'm excited to see it. The one other thing we'll need to mention is how they contact you. The phone number, it's 651-2806-TOY, correct?
Correct.
And then we have the toys, the number 4 town at farmingtonmn.gov.
Yes.
So whether you're a family in need or you want to volunteer or you have monetary donations, you can always contact the police department for any questions, correct?
Absolutely.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
I'm just glad that I got to know a little bit more about this event. I'm excited. I'm excited to wrap.
I'm looking forward to it as well.
Before I wrap up today's episode, I want to share a few upcoming Winter City events. Turkey Bingo will be held at Fire Station 1 on Saturday, November 11th, with doors opening at 4:30 and bingo starting at 6. Bingos win turkeys at this event. Saturday, November 18th is a busy day for our solid waste and recycling guru, Violet. In Rosemont, there's a Fix-It clinic at the Robert Trail Library from noon to 3, and an outdoor winter clothing swap at the Rosemont Community Center from noon to 2. Bring your items that need repair and or bring some items you want to part with or pick out something new to you. Although these are in Rosemont, Farmington residents are welcome to participate. The famous Trains and Treats event is scheduled for Saturday, November 25th at the Rambling River Center. Enjoy a fabulous train display and tasty Twinkie trains. Come visit with Santa, too. Trains are 9 a.m. to noon. Twinkie trains are 9 to 10:30, and Santa is at 10:30. This event is sponsored by the Rambling River Model Railroad Club. And finally, the Secret Holiday Shop will be on Saturday, December 2nd from 9 a.m. to noon at the Rambling River Center. The holiday shop has gifts for all ages and will even do the wrapping. Children shop, wrap, and label their own gifts with assistance from volunteers. It's so much fun to see what your child will choose to buy. Children of all ages are welcome. No parents allowed. Parents can take this time to the downtown area and support local businesses. For information on any of these events or programs, be sure to check out our website at farmingtonmn.gov or our Facebook page. And that concludes this month's episode of Farmington Feed. Thank you for listening. We look forward to connecting with residents with this podcast. If you have any feedback, guest requests, ideas, email me at communications@farmingtonmn.gov. Don't forget to subscribe to the Farmington Feed wherever you like to get your podcasts.